Bangena phakathi bafuna ungikhipha ngaphandle Ngafike calling imncane Bangena phakathi bafuna ungikhipha ngaphandle
Ke nna Refilwe Moketsi, popularly known as FiFi Cooper. Ke khale re sokola Di khorong re kokota Lona le rata le sokola Ali ya menyana wo Ho ho Ali ya menyana wo Motsako's first lady, multi-award winning artist. With this project, woo, exciting, you know? I'm super confident. How can you be Catalinti? How can you be blind? And I'm not a follower, I'm a leader. Hey, the ring so abuwa for the name tata kancane. Yeah, no ushibileza njeke pata. Yeah, umnati. Yeah, wadala. And ke saliting, but kijigile kitole felele. So you know, it's either you follow me or o tla ipona. Phela ke patele studio time ba gaisho ke na le studio sa ka ke re ke le boleletse ke na le record label le lona le thale re ke a dlala. O tla nna up to date a o ka re follow e tlogelang di page tsa khale tse di setseng go di record labeleng tsa khale re na le tse dintšha di following.
How are you, Fifi?
I'm okay, how are you?
Great.
Great.
I think we should just get into the vibe.
Okay, before we get into that, can I pray?
Okay.
Father, I come before you in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. I give you the praise, the glory, the honor, and adoration, Morena Modimaka. I invite you today, Morena Modimaka, to lead and guide us, Morena Modimaka, as we're about to shoot this, Morena Modimaka. Lord, take control, Morena Modimaka. Let everything that we say, Morena Modimaka, it's Omohuena, and ebe your guidance, Morena Modimaka. We give you the praise, the glory, the honor, and adoration. We say no weapon formed against us shall prosper, Morena Modimaka, in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Ke nna Refilwe Moketsi, popularly known as FiFi Cooper, Motsako's first lady, multi-award winning artist, and CEO of Mo Cooper Records. Ke busy. Ke gatana le Motswako waya. You know, I'm a hip hop artist. Not only a hip hop artist, I'm a singer as well and songwriter. And yeah, briefly, that's what I can tell you. Yeah.
So what was the vision behind the project or the album?
The album chapters, I feel like the vision or the idea was to mainly let people in more into who FiFi is, you know, and the challenges that the ups and downs, so the good times, basically I was just opening myself more to let my fans know a little bit more about, you know, Refilwe, not only FiFi Cooper, the artist. And every song is a different chapter of my life. And yeah, I'm glad that, you know, I did it. It took me a while to achieve it, but we are here now and, you know, people are loving it. So it means we are really achieving goal and achiever with this album chapters, yeah.
So how does it connect to where you are in your life or your career? How does the album connect to where you are in your life or your career?
The album connects to where I am right now in my career because there's a lot of people, like for example, there's a song on the album called Ketsogai. It answers a lot of questions, you know. A lot of people have been asking, FiFi Kokai, you know, why haven't you been dropping? What's happening? And, you know, a lot of people didn't know that leaving my previous record label, I actually had to start from scratch, you know. Fan pages were taken from me. $500,000. So I had to start from scratch. Those 500,000 people that were following me, you know, back in 2016, they couldn't know where to find me anymore because the page didn't, you know. And the peanuts guy, they kind of explain because I've been around and but yeah, basically that's that, man. Chapter say it related because I feel like a lot of things that I go through, a lot of people do go through. It's just that they don't say it or they don't voice it out. But thank God for music, because we can actually, say the challenges are on or our daily experiences, we can say them through music. And I think it's a beautiful thing, honestly.
Moving on to the bigger picture, the album as a whole. What inspired the album title and the artwork?
What inspired the album title first was basically because once I started realizing the music that I'm recording now is not only just music, has the track, get the chapter, I felt like the music that I make now is not me writing lyrics, it's literally me writing a book, but I see book in my life, but I've written songs before, and I knew the best way for me is through music. Hence, I don't call the track 1, track 2. It's chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 15, because every chapter, it carries its own story. And what inspired the artwork, obviously, it's what the album is about. Chapters, when the name or the word chapters come, to your mind, what do you think of? You think of a book, and that's the brief that I gave, to Motona designer artwork Arona. And my brief was very straight to the point that for artwork, I would like it, to be easy for motho ha shebile aba khone go understand what the album is about without listening to it. And the album is about what? Chapters of my life. Hence, you find artwork gona le bukanyana, gona le mo di page, and that way it also makes me feel like it is a book, in a way. Yeah.
Okay. So are you planning on writing a book anytime soon or later in life?
It's crazy. I've been planning to drop a book because, hey, trust me, I've seen a lot in this 18 years, many things happened, but I feel like everything happens for a reason. When the time is right and when God wants me to write a book, I think it will eventually happen. But I feel like I have a lot to say. I have a lot to teach the young ones. I am a mother and I don't agree with a lot of things that I see in the industry. So with my fans, I want me and give them the realness of what the industry and the music comes with, It can change everything. And I think they need to know that they need to learn before they really get into the game, because once you are in, it's difficult to step out. So it's better, Yeah.
So did you go to the studio with a clear concept, or the concept just developed along the way?
I never go to studio with a concept, to be honest. I think the reason why I just want to work with the best producers in the game is because we feed off each other's energies in the studio. If you work with the best, trust me, there's no way you're not going to leave that studio also satisfied. And the only thing that I knew coming into creating this project is I knew that I want to work with the best, from production to features to everyone, really. I wanted to work with the best in the game, and that's exactly what I did. Me stepping into studio, I don't have an idea what we're going to come out of the studio with, but I know that I'm going to come out of that studio with a banger, with a song that heals me, with a song that makes me feel like, yo, FiFi, you really went to the studio. So I worked with the best producer. Make 24 Inches was the executive producer. Head of production, he was head of production. And also I worked with other producers as well, Bo Alikizi, super producer Rapsi, but King McKay, But besides that, getting into studio, we were just feeding off each other's energies and just really trying to put our best on the table. Yeah.
What's the main message or the feeling that you wanted to portray in this album?
I think the main message is no matter what you go through, eventually you need to know that you're going to come out stronger. Like I always say, everything happens for a reason. There's no way God can put you in a position not knowing how you're gonna come out of it. You know, so message you hearing on this album is literally that. Like, and also I want to remind people to be them. We live in an era now where there's so many trends and people want to hop on trends. People don't want to start trends. They want to follow. And I'm not a follower, I'm a leader, you know. It's either you follow me or you'll be born, because I believe that I'm here for a purpose. I'm here to be different. You know, the reason why people respect the brand FiFi is because you will never find another FiFi ever again or anywhere. You know, I've been the first Botswana lady for so many years. I'm still waiting today, Hore. I want to have another girl who will claim the spot, who will fight for the spot. Because I do believe for a talented thing, it's just that batho ba batla di shortcut. Batho ba batla go double up. People want to wake up and just trend. They don't want to work for it. They don't understand. I had to do free shows when I was studying for many, many years, you know? Just because I wanted that marketing for me was important. I wanted to be seen. It wasn't about the money. But when I got signed, it had to be about the money, because now ke godile as an artist. I left Mafikeng to come to Joburg. That's work. I'm not in Mafikeng where I'm sleeping in my mom's house. You know, so as an artist, you grow, things change. But the consistency, the way we treat Nkateng, we can't force you to push your own talent, to push your own, you know, career. It must come from within. You must be the one to wake up and say, I want to do this, I want to do this. So Aratswane as the artist, and those are the things that I was trying to also teach with this project, because I think if you listen to it, even with the people that are featured, you know, on this project, for example, Milindo, I love the fact that he's also a storyteller. So it wasn't hard to record that song, because I wanted to tell a story as much as he wanted to tell a story. And he tells a story that I know a lot of people will relate to. I relate to it, you know, as much as he's talking to me on the song. I feel like I'm talking to someone, you know? So that's the power of music for me. And that's what I really wanted to do with this project. I want to change this narrative, Yabatu. I know that I've been trying to change it for a long time. Like, for example, ga wa tshwanela go tsena mo staging o le motho wa mosadi o apere tracksuit or o apere jean e telele. So to tsena ka G-string because sex sells. Who said that? I'm a mother. That will follow my kids 20 years later. I need to think about the things that I do now, because they might catch up with me, or they might catch up with my kids years later. So for me, it's about really thinking about how you move as a human being, not only as an artist. It affects us all, you know. So there's so many lessons. I feel like with each chapter, you will get to learn something about me, and that's the beauty of this project.
So when you're in studio, do you prefer working alongside the people that you feature, or you just want to be you and the producer?
In the studio, I want to be with people, babanali energy is positive. I give at least the negative vibes, you know, because like I said, in studio, it's very important to feed off each other's energies. You can take no tuela is simple from a stranger almost studio. That's the beauty of music. Anything can happen. The creative process is so fragile for me, you know. Hence, I choose who gets to be in studio. If you you know, and at the end of the day, I take it seriously, you know. I think for me to put bread on the table is me studio, creating the music is the first thing. There's nothing that I can sell if I have whack music as an artist. The first thing that is important is to make sure what a process is able to talk, which is creating the music, it goes smoothly, it goes according to plan, and most importantly, the energy must be positive. Yeah.
Great. So how does this current project differ from your old project?
With this project, woo, exciting, you know? By the way, this year I'm also celebrating 10 years of my first album, 20 FiFi. It's a decade, so I think it's a big deal for me to celebrate it, you know? The difference between my first album and this one, the third album, is because I feel like 20 FiFi was controlled too much, you know? Like, I didn't have a say. Like, I would wake up and I have to work with this person, or I have to wake up, my favorite verse is deleted, I have to rewrite. Like, you know, there were a lot of things that I didn't have control of compared to now. As the CEO of FiFi Records, I have all the power, you know, I can tell my story the way it is. There's no one who can come to me and say, this doesn't sell, say this because it sells. Brother, let it not sell. That is not my story. I don't want to sell something that is not mine, something that I'm not doing, you know. I want to tell my story and sell my story, you know, to the people. And I think with this album, I was able to achieve that. Be me 100%.
What sparked the idea behind the song Ali Eminyan?
Okay. So Ali Eminyan, it's a song. Ke khale re sokola, di khorong re kokota, lona le rata le sokola, Ali Eminyan, wo, ho, ho, Ali Eminyan, wo. So, I want to straight to the point. Because I want people to understand. Maybe Baba said things to it talks about the struggle, you know. We've been struggling for a long time. We've been trying to push. We've been trying to open these doors. So now, singena ngenkani. Wait, hold on, wait. Siyangena, no matter you like it or you don't. Because at the end of the day, meles forced, you know, as an artist, because people are gonna say no. People are gonna say no, trust me. The thing give up is because after no you are like, oh, maybe I'm not good enough. Hell no. I know I'm good enough. It doesn't matter how many no's I get. I will keep moving. I know that I will get a yes. Because so that's what we're saying on the song. No matter what la ring, emanyana lona, at the end of the day, you know. So, and you know, I got the best feature. Bona we cementile bundle 2 rings in Jaka, shout out. Yeah, referite bundle, you know. Speaking of the same thing, hore, abe minya hanyani. Rings so abua hore ne bamthatha kancane. No ushibileza njenge bhatha, umnati, wadlala.
What was the vibe in the studio when you were recording the song?
Ali Eminyan.
Yes.
Whoa. Okay, so the vibe is always lit, you know? Crazy thing is that a lot of people don't know that outside of, you know, Ali Eminyan, me and Rings also have other songs. Because we find ourselves in studio together all the time, you know? And the reason why we find ourselves in studio together all the time is because we make great music together, you know? And the vibe in the studio was definitely lit. Like, this is one of the songs that didn't take us a long time to record. Like, we didn't record it in like 5 days, 6 days, coming back to it, no ways. I recorded the hook, I recorded my verse, Ringsi Rilauta Arbona, Vesiaka ready. He recorded his verse and that was it. Like, it was straight to the point. I think both of us really understood the concept and we nailed it 100%. Yeah.
So from this album, which song would you say is the best song?
Ooh, which song is the best song, brother? That's a hard question. You know, this is my jam. Like, this is my album. Like, every song from 1 to 15. I don't know, but I feel like, ooh, which one? Okay, but let me just say, when I'm gone, right? I'm gonna say when I'm gone because the reactions also that I get, like first Bono Agajo, he loves this song so much. And like, hi Reza, because I think it touches him somewhere, you know? And it has a very special place in his heart because that's Mommy, can you play when I'm gone? And not only him, a lot of people when they hear that song, they love it. Like I said, they relate to the things that I'm saying. Like, GBV is all we see on a daily. The justice system be failing on a daily. We see that these things be getting crazy. Because all we see on TV screens be crazy. Ke life e re phelang on a daily, you know. GBV, we see it on a daily. It's not like something se ke se itlhametseng, you know. There's no, a gona letsatsi le le fetang o sa tsene on social media. Boyfriend te bolele mosadi or mosadi a bolele boyfriend te or something along those lines, you know. So those are the things that re phela le tsone on a daily. And I think the reason why I love it so much is because when I wrote it, I felt like South Africa has turned, you know, their backs on me. But I definitely know that they will miss me when I'm gone. They will be the first person to say, oh, Fifi, we had talent. Oh, Fifi. You know, but they are the first people to also kick you when you're down. And when I wrote it, I was going through a lot, bruh. But my main thing was to cry out through the mic because that's the best way I can, you know, cry or let my emotions out. I don't like bottling up emotions. I feel like I'm a writer for a reason. Every emotion, it comes out the way it is, you know, no filter. And yeah, I think When I'm Gone will be my favorite song because I see it also as a song that will be played 50 years later, even after Getlofal, you know. It carries a very strong message, not only for me, but for a lot of people. Yeah.
Do you prefer being in studio when the producer is doing the beats, or you prefer him to cook his own thing and then you just come and listen to whatever he has and then you merge it with your lyrics, or do you want to be part of the process as well?
It depends. Who are you? You know, I don't just trust everyone. If it's Mac 24 inches, he can send a beat, prepare, and play when I get to studio. But there's a lot of upcoming producers that I'm also trying to put on and work with. I prefer to be in studio, the creative process, you know, because I also like to guide them. Because I think, like, a lot of people don't know that when you are an artist, when you get a concept, you already know how you want the beat to go or to sound. You know, I don't know if that makes sense. But I sometimes have like the concept, and then in my mind already, I'm just going to tell producer, so it also depends, you know. But there are producers that I've been working with for years and years. I'm used to them just sending beats, you know, via WhatsApp, via email. And it works for me because these are people that understand me. And the beats that they send me, they know that this is something that Fifi would really kill or hop on, you know. Yeah, but if as a producer keep writing, I would prefer that I'm there, you know, in case I have an idea or maybe beat ya gage, you know, just for me to be able to keep Musete back on track. Yeah. But you never know. A creative process, really, you can't predict. Every day is a different move, is a different feeling, is a different, you know, it's different on a daily, yeah.
I see you featured a lot of Zulu artists or artists that sing in Zulu. What was the inspiration behind that?
First of all, my man is Zulu. So ngithutile isiZulu molele yazi ni wena ngizokutshela ukuthi mina hey yadlala hle. But yes, I've been friends with Big Zulu for a very, very long time. Before he signed Lwa, I remember he gave me a call. I went to go visit him. and he played me, some of the songs that he had recorded Lilwa before they even dropped like the first track together, And from there, I was like, oh gosh, this girl is actually dope, She's going to be the first lady of Nkabi Records. I'm going to be the first lady of Mo Cooper Records. So since that day, I've always known that I want to work with Lwa as the first lady of Nkabi Records. And Big Zulu, he has been my friend for a long time in the industry. So that was a given, that we're going to work together. Maraza, very close brother of mine. We've worked together before, even if we haven't dropped anything before together, but we have worked together before. And I just felt like this is the right time for us to drop together. Rings, Swift 1520, we're always together. We're like a family. We're like a little clique. So it was an obvious thing for us to work together. Mlindo, the vocalist, I've always loved his approach and his writing skills. I think he's so different. I think he's so unique in terms of like how he writes his music. Like you can literally feel his emotion from the beginning of the song until the end. And that's exactly what I wanted as part of, the project. And yeah, I think everyone literally had something different that they were adding onto, the project. So, ke tlhopile batho ba ne ke itse gore they also want to be on the project. Like, as an artist, it's difficult to put an album together, right? Because you think of features. You ask a lot of people for the feature, But not everyone is going to come and record or want to be a part of the project. This project, however, everyone who's on the project wanted to be on the project. So that's the beauty of it. Like, no one was forced. It's literally like, hey, done, It's not like I have to call you every day and be like, ish, Joe, ish, mfetu, rapper up, mfetu, how? No, I've never had that with the project. Hence, I'm saying, everyone who is on this project was meant to be there. I feel like they have their own things going for themselves. And I feel like everyone is just focusing on what they have going on. Obviously, we have a group, Motswako. We have a Motswako Republic tour that we're doing. We were in Botswana, we're going to be in Lichtenburg, and there's a Soweto one and Maftan Heights coming up, right? But besides the tour that we are doing, as FiFi, I don't really see them holding my hand as much as I would want to. But I think that's a good thing for me because it makes me feel like, and it makes me realize that actually, I can actually do things by myself, I think I have kifitile stage sele sa go batla go thusiwa sa go llela ko go oleo. I've reached a stage now where I understand the power that I carry by myself alone. And at the end of the day, I know me being myself also represents, the whole Motswako, circle, and one thing I know for sure is that I will represent them the best way I know I can. And I believe that maybe my next project, they will come forward and support more because it's not only about like being on the album, a comment, a like, a share, it also means something to me. But I don't know. I think we're going to get there one day.
Would you consider featuring someone like Madlera on your future projects?
Mm-hmm. I have thought about it, featuring Madlera Doughboy. Obviously, like I feel like for me, RIP to Grootman Jeba. One thing I've learned from Grootman Jeba is that for Motswako to be relevant and to be alive is for you to keep introducing the new Motswako listas, Because even the title Motsoko's First Lady, I got it from Jeba because he wasn't afraid to get on stage and shout my name and tell people how dope I am. I feel like if we all had that thing to proudly and loudly love each other, would be far, you know? And I feel like Baba Dope, Baba Tlang ko morago, it's our duty to pave the way for them, or not even pave the way, but like give them platform onyana, you know, ya gore ba kgone go elevate le bone somehow, some way. But I love Madlera. I love Madlera. What he's doing is great, and it goes back to what I said. He's different, you know. He came with something fresh. And it doesn't matter gore ke mang o tlong go tla ko morago a repa ya ka ene, but for the fact that ke ena simolotseng diding eo, he holds the power, and dope. I like that.
So are there any behind the scenes stories that the fans might not know about
Behind the scenes of what the project?
of the project?
Not really. I think the fans don't know that we've worked on this album since after lockdown. It's been years. It's been years. Like how kasheba lingeke eke dropileng le lwandlunkulu. I think it dropped a year ago or 2 years ago, like a long time ago. But the reason why it took me so long, it's because like it didn't feel right at the time, man. Like I don't wanna be pushing, you know. I want to be mentally ready. I have a baby. He's now like almost 2 years. So I had a whole 12 months of not being on social media and not, well, I was performing, you know. My last gig, it was like 2 weeks before I gave birth, because obviously I'm a mother. I need to go out and hustle on a daily. But I never posted it because of my beliefs, like, you know, pregnancy, nah. I can only believe it's even like a banana, I don't post them on a daily because of certain things that I believe in. But people don't know that. Besides just being a record label owner and an artist, I'm also a mother, and my mom has been sick for the longest. And because of financially, I've been taking her to a public hospital in Pretoria, and it wasn't easy because, you know, I'm a public figure. People will take pictures and what, but she's my mother, you know. Her health comes first than all this fame and, you know, everything else. So the reason why I also took time from being, you know, online and dropping is because I needed to deal with my family. I needed to deal with my mental health. I needed to deal with things that makes me who I am, you know. I can't be FiFi 100% there if get like a really matata, you know. So ke role matata au ke dile lone before ke dila le spanisaka. So yeah, man, there's a lot that has been happening, and people don't know that in that 4 years of me recording this album, we recorded about 50 songs, and we had to chop them down to 15. Which wasn't easy. That's where my business partners come in now. You know, but yeah, a lot happened. But I'm glad that everything happened the way it happened, because I just feel like now the timing is perfect. I'm super confident.
Speaking of lockdown, what was the biggest challenge during lockdown? Do you think the government supported artists during that process? And do you think they do support them even now?
I don't know if the government supported people. Like, yeah, I saw the grants and stuff. But the government never did shit for me. I don't know about other people. Lockdown, I was going through the most. The only thing that I ever received got lockdown was a payment from Grootman Julius Malema. gore fela re kgone go bona gore re bereka yang wa bona during that period. But besides that, it was hard, and that was the period I just wanted to be in studio and record, you know, because I couldn't go anywhere anyway, you know. It's not like ke kgona go gigging a ke bookiwe everywhere go tswetswe le di shopo o ya ka nako e go ratang government ha o ye ka nako ga gago, you know. So it was difficult, but at the end of the day, man, like I'm just a citizen here in South Africa, you know, trying to live the best. And you know, most South Africa or go yang, you know, o gata batho ba ba wrong di khoro di khona go tswala, you know. So certain things we keep quiet because of ha re batla go gata ope di cons, you know. I know after I left my previous record label, there were a lot of people that were paid not to play my music, not even to be next to me, you know. I was just blessed that certain people were able to come to me and tell me, and then I'm like, oh, really? Oh, okay. But those things, they really do happen because money is power. People with money in this country, they have more power over you. So there's certain things that you can't say, there's certain things that you can't do, and there's certain things that you can't say, you know? Hence why there's a lot of fucked up things in the industry, yeah.
What was the biggest challenge that you faced when recording the album?
The biggest challenge when I was recording the album, load shedding, yeah. Because you know sometimes load shedding, you attack a whistle save. The best take in the world. But our record it's wa go irang wona mo South Africa. O sa save. Ke mathata. Tsantse simolle gape ko ntleng a motlaka so boa. Na kwa teng idea yo lone ile gone pur out the window. So load shedding na bathong e ntse di verse le di hit tse dintsi tota. Ha ke itsang ka bolela Ramaphosa gore wa go mpatela bokae.
So which track took the longest to finish? Hopefully maybe load shedding wasn't part of that.
The track that took the longest to finish, I think Waipinda. Because when I started Waipinda, there was no direction. I didn't know who I want to feature on the song. Like, I didn't have an idea. I just had the beat and the chorus, you know? But after I spoke to my team and my business partners who were bouncing off each other's ideas, and then, you know, we're like, oh, Zakwe, you know? Because ke ela ya rap, hai batli, yeah, ele ya rap, like bars. Then we ended up thinking, oh, why don't we get Masevene and why don't we get Zakwe, you know? And that's when we started communicating with them. Unfortunately, Zakwe was still in Durban, so we had to wait for him to record and send us the SEPs, you know, because it was going to take even longer if we waited for him to come to Joburg. So it only took time because from the jump, we didn't know who we wanted to feature. And as soon as we knew who we wanted to feature, he was far, you know, and he had to record there and send separates to us. But other than that, there were no challenges. Like, everything went smooth.
Okay. So your current track with MT, you guys were dope. Are you going to get another collaboration with MT?
Are we going to get another collaboration with MT? I would like to hope and think that we would, but MT was so good. Wait, like, and it makes me sad because people always ask me like, yo, why did you have this at MT? Why MT? But guys, MT was so good. You know, MT can say, yes, let's do this. When it's time to do it, his phone is off, or he's not picking up, or he's nowhere to be found, or he's trending because there's IG DMs. Like, I don't understand. People don't get, like, he's a special artist. I think you need to understand the person that he is for you to know. But I definitely want to work with him in the future. But till today, I'm still waiting for him to comment, like, and share. And he knows that the album is out. He missed the launch. He missed my call again, trying to ask him why he didn't make it, because he said he's going to make it the day before. So there's a lot. But I love him so much. He's my baby. He's my brother.
So, as artists, you know, sometimes some artists prefer recording at night. Some artists prefer recording during the day, and some artists want the right mood. They want the right channel to come to them.
Yeah.
Did your mood or personal life shape how you approach the recording?
My personal life. I think my personal life shaped the recording, but the mood was also as important, you know, because it doesn't matter what type of concept that I came with in studio. It was important for me to have a positive and a comfortable environment for me to be able, you know, to deliver. So both for me are equally as important.
Has any fan feedback surprised you in any way?
I don't think so. So far, regarding the album, I haven't heard or seen a comment that is negative. I haven't, which is weird, you know? But with this project, I haven't seen a weird comment. I think really people have been waiting for the project and they are loving, you know, so I think so far so good. And thank you guys for being so positive. Yo, huning little negative.
If you could describe this album in 3 words, what would they be?
Highly favored project. Highly favored project. This one has God written all over it.
Looking back at your younger self, would you change anything? And if so, what would you change?
Looking back, I think the only thing that I would change, at some point I was naive, you know? I mean, coming into the industry, it's not that no go sna di red flagging yana tse ke di boneng tsa industry before ke tsena, you know? I knew that go na le di grotmane tse dingwe di tlhokofetse, overdose tse ka di drugs tse dingwe, they committed suicide, you know? And like, those to me could have been like red flags, you know, because if you are like a normal human being and your role model is committing suicide, it does something to you, you know. Also, it depends for umarata who fair. If umarata tata, lo committing suicide one day, you're gonna think or is the right way out or a way out. So being naive, a ke le monyane ke bona di red flag ke utlwa gore di artist tse dingwe ha di a patelwa ha go etsagaleng. That could have clicked in my mind gore, you know what, Fifi, before you sign, learn the business side of things, you know. And if I could have learned the business side of things before I signed my first deal, I think things could have been different, you know. Nka be ke sa iphitlhele ke le mo di court casing, you know, nka be ke sa iphitlhele ke le ke lwela dio tse leng gore ke di right tsaka, you know. Like now I have to find myself fighting for di write tsa dipina tsaka, performing my songs or recreating my songs. But as a young girl, if someone had told me that you need to know 1, 2, 3 before you get yourself into this contract, then things could have worked, differently or could have happened differently. But I feel like there's a reason why I had to go through what I went through, because I feel like now I'm stronger and wiser, and I wouldn't trade my journey for anything. I feel like it went the way it was supposed to go.
How is it like working with someone like Big Zulu in the studio?
Working with Big Zulu is fun because he doesn't want to speak English. So u bua Zulu ke bua Setswana. And ha ke sa mo tlhaloganye a sa ntlhaloganye re tla ipona re le babedi. There's no solution to that. And I like that because as well in ruta dilo tse baya in terms of language ya gagwe. Le nna e mo ruta dilo tse baya in terms of language ya ka. Today I get shocked ha bua Setswana. I laugh even though obviously the accent ya teng wa utlwa gore ha se Motswana, but it's dope for the fact that he is learning something through me and I'm learning something through him. It's beautiful, Yeah. It's fun.
Let's talk about Ngivuleleni. What is the inspiration behind Ngivuleleni?
Ngivuleleni literally are open up for me, So re bua ka dikgoro tse leng gore khale di tswetswe, ba gana gore bulela ba re bulela fela ka di terms and conditions, and rona ha re batle di terms and conditions re na le talente ke bula kgoro re tsena, you understand? So it was inspired by the fact that I came to Joburg ke santse ke le monyane, I came to Joburg before I was even a mother. Now I'm a mother of 2, and ha nka ke ka go bolela gore ke na le tšhelete ke ka gore tloga le ntalla mar ke tlile ke le monyane tota. And that's exactly what Maraza is saying on the whole. Ngafika goling emncane, and ha re ratsena ba gana gore bulela, so re buleleng, re buleleng, we are here. Open the doors for us. So that was the concept, because I feel like a lot of people, they come to Joburg for hustle. I don't feel like people will leave like their respective homes, ko ba goletseng teng, ko ba bonetseng teng, to come to Joburg for mahala. I believe for everyone o tlileng mo Joburg, o tlile ka lebaka, And this is exactly what I'm saying on the song. I came to Joburg, I came to hustle. Bulang dikgoro la re bona gore re fitlhile la re maeza le re founela ko dikhoneng bulang dikgoro re tsena.
So what's next? Are there any visuals, tours, or any other music that will be coming in the future?
Obviously now that we have dropped the album, we're doing a launch tour. We did one in Edenvale. We're going to do one in Pretoria and in Mafikeng as well. Other venues will be confirmed after that. So far, we are still confused, right? Because now that the album is out, people are like choosing their favorite songs. So I'm also trying to see what song is really, like popping right now. They are streaming it the most. It's definitely gonna be the first single that we're gonna be shooting for. I am looking at dropping probably like 5 visuals for this project. So that we're still working on. Ke phela ke bolela batho ba bantsi ke re kana nna di believe tsa ka di different. Ha ke rate go bua thata gore ke bereka mo go eng ka gore bo satane ba ntheditse. Ba tla tloga ba ntlhakanela ba ba tima dio tsa ka ke motho a thapelo ke motho a mmereko. I allow the work to speak for itself. I just want to work, and then mmereko wa ka o tla ipuella. But there's a lot that we are planning this year, and there's a new project that I'm working on besides Chapter C. Phela ke patele studio time ba gaisho ke na le studio sa ka ke re ke le boleletse ke na le record label le lona le thale re ke a dlala. So we're working on a new project that is going to be dropping very soon. Africa, Asia, South Africa. It involves other artists from, the entire continent. So there's a lot that we're working on, and just stay tuned, man, you know. Up to date. I got follow. The pages record labeling following. That's where you'll get the right information.
Is there any final message that you'd like to give to your supporters?
First of all, I just want to appreciate FiFi Nation, the people that have been supporting me from day one. When I was a little girl, you know, before I actually even knew that this will be my career, you know, the people that met me while this was still a hobby. Listen to the thing, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that you guys always fight for me because you guys literally see what's in me and what I bring to the table when it comes to South African music. I just want to say, keep on supporting, keep on streaming the new album. Let's go double platinum, baby. Let's not play, you know? Ba ile gore khale ba bua ka rona ba re he FiFi o wele ba gaetsho ha ke itse gore ke le rekeleng ka gore le mo la re bona gore re santse re le teng, so ha ke itse gore la go reng ya no, because we're still alive, we're still surviving. And I'm not the type to die young. Ke santse ke tlo ba teng, ke santse ke tlo go le hlokomeza ka mmino o monate thata. And to all the, you know, upcoming artists, what I want to say to you guys is that believe in yourself, believe in your craft, understand that you were given that talent for a reason. Don't doubt yourself. Don't look at other people to give you credit. Give yourself credit first. And whoever that gives you credit, I will fail on it. But wena motho e leng gore o tshwantse o itsetsepele, o itshepe, knowing that go yang teng bona, everything is good. Everything will fall into place. So be patient with yourself, love yourself, and I love you guys.
Ngena